Sports offer an authentic dramatic narrative that movies cannot replicate. Often, there are moments in sports history that leave casual and die-hard fans in awe. In this video, I will be exploring the biggest 10 upsets in sports history. Number 10 on this list is the Eagles stunning the Patriots in the 2017-18 Super Bowl. Going into the game, the Eagles were heavy 14-point underdogs. The doubt was not unfounded. At the helm, the Eagles were led by a second-string QB who had retired from the NFL just a couple of years prior. When Carson Wentz went down in the late season, Nick Foles stepped in to replace him for the last games of the season. There was nothing impressive about these games. However, Nick Foles turned into Superman during the 2017-18 playoffs. He led the Eagles to a 38-7 victory over the Vikings. Nick Foles went 26 for 33 with 3 TDs, notching a 141 QB rating. Despite this performance, Foles would face off against the NFL powerhouse led by the greatest QB of all time, Tom Brady. The stunning part about this victory is that the Eagles had to score on almost every single drive to keep the Patriots and Brady in their rearview mirror. In any situation, if one says Tom Brady threw for 500 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions, but lost, most people would never believe it. But that is how good Nick Foles played. Foles racked up close to 400 pass yards with 3 touchdowns. The highlight of the game came on a 4th and 1 with the Patriots in hot pursuit. The Eagles went for it on a trick play that saw a second-string tight end pitch it to a third-string running back who threw it to Foles in the end zone. For these reasons, the Eagles beating the Patriots comes in at number 10 on our list. Number 9 on our list is the 6th-seeded Rockets' victory over the 1-seeded Orlando Magic. Going into the 1994-95 playoffs, one topic dominated the discussions, which was Shaquille O'Neal and his quick ascent to become arguably the best big man in the game. Prior to the season, the Magic had gotten lucky enough to get 2 top-tier drafts, which it used to pair a talented Penny Hardaway and Shaquille O'Neal. The result was one of the most dynamic duos that year. To make the Magic's journey to the finals that more special, they had defeated Michael Jordan and the Bulls, albeit a Jordan that had returned from retirement. In the Western Conference, the field was stacked. As a 6th seed, the Houston Rockets faced an uphill battle if they wanted to repeat as champions. However, behind the likes of Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon, Sam Cassell, Clyde Drexler, Robert Horry, and Kenny the Jet Smith, they pulled off the improbable to make it to the NBA Finals. The match was set between 2 of the league's most dominant big men in NBA history. The number 1-seeded Magic against the 6th-seeded Rockets. Despite a competitive effort, the Magic would go on to get swept as Olajuwon led the Rockets to a repeat championship. For these reasons, the Rockets upsetting the Magic comes in at number 9 on our list. Number 8 on our list is Tom Brady and the Patriots' comeback against the Atlanta Falcons in the 2016-17 Super Bowl. With 2 minutes left in the third quarter, the Falcons led 28-3. All watching the game had a strong gut feeling that it was all but over. However, if there is one thing that fans have learned over the years is that you never count the GOAT out. Behind Tom Brady, the Patriots launched one of the most impressive comebacks in NFL history. The Patriots would end up coming back to win the game 34-28 in overtime. For these reasons, the Patriots coming back to beat the Falcons ranks in at number 8. Coming in at number 7 are the Mets coming back to beat the Red Sox in 7 games in the 1986 World Series. Bill Buckner. A name that sends chills down Boston Red Sox fans. Although much of the disdain towards him might be unfounded, it is undeniable that he committed one of the most infamous errors in baseball history. The Red Sox had the World Series sealed in Game 6 in the 9th inning. That is, until a ground ball down the first baseline went right under Buckner's gloves and legs. Building off this momentum, the Mets rallied to come back and win in extra innings. Dejected from the loss, the Red Sox would go on to lose in Game 7. This upset comes in at 7 because of the tragic nature of the loss. At this point in Red Sox history, the curse of the Bambino was real. Ever since the Red Sox had traded Babe Ruth to the Yankees, where Ruth would become arguably the best baseball player of all time, fans were convinced that their team was cursed. Buckner's error, combined with a Game 7 loss, left Red Sox and baseball fans in shock. For these reasons, the Mets beating the Red Sox makes this list. When the Patriots acquired Randy Moss, few would have imagined, but the Patriots would go on to put together a season for the ages. Arguably more dynamic than Kurt Warner's Greatest Show on Turf, the Patriots put together a 16-0 regular season in the 2007-2008 season. The Patriots were solid in every aspect of the game. Seeking football immortality, the Patriots looked to go undefeated for the entire regular and postseason. A feat that had not been pulled off since Don Shula's Miami Dolphins. Standing in their way was a spotty New York Giants team. Eli Manning is considered a possible Hall of Famer today, but in 2008, he was a streaky quarterback with a tendency to disappear on the big stage. However, Manning had the game of his life in the 2007-2008 Super Bowl, where his clutch quarterbacking dethroned the favorites, the 16-0 Patriots. So close to going undefeated and etching their names in the pantheon of football, the Patriots were left stunned by notable plays like David Tyree's helmet catch. It seemed that fate was on the Giants' side that night. Coming in at number 5 is the Red Sox series comeback from a 3-1 deficit to beat the Yankees. As mentioned, the curse of the Bambino was a concept still very much alive as the Red Sox had not won a World Series. However, in 2004, the Red Sox put to rest any notions of a curse as they came back in the ALCS after experts and fans alike had written them off. Behind stars like Pedro Martinez and Johnny Damon, the Red Sox pulled off 3 straight victories to vanquish their age-old foes, the Yankees. Coming in at number 4 on our list is Buster Douglas's upset of the undefeated Mike Tyson in 1990. Arguably the most dynamic boxer in history is Mike Tyson. He came onto the scene in the 80s with a peekaboo style. With training from Customado, Tyson rained haymakers on his opponents. Up until the Buster Douglas fight, most of Tyson's fights never went more than a few rounds as his freight train punches neutralized his opponents. Bout after bout, Tyson left the crowds in awe. That is, until a young Buster Douglas took Tyson the distance and landed a vicious knockout on the undefeated champ. Going into the fight, Mike Tyson had 37 wins and 0 losses with 33 knockouts. Most experts and fans had Tyson beating the up-and-coming Douglas. The upset is even more improbable when you consider that Tyson had landed a knockdown on Buster Douglas that should have ended the fight. Against all odds, Buster Douglas got back up and kept fighting until he won. For these reasons, Buster Douglas shocking the world and beating the undefeated Mike Tyson comes in at number 4. Coming in at number 3 on our list is Villanova's improbable victory over Georgetown in the 1985 NCAA Men's Basketball Championship. Villanova, as an 8th seed, was the heavy underdog coming into the match against Patrick Ewing and the first-seeded Hoyas. Often, this game is referred to as the perfect game, because Nova had to shoot a record-high 78.6% from the field just to win by 2 points. In the second half, Nova shot 9 for 10, a whopping 90%. To this day, Nova remains the lowest-seeded NCAA team to win a national championship. For these reasons, Nova makes it to number 3 on our list. In 2015 to 2016, the Golden State Warriors set the single-season record for wins, going 73-9. They famously dethroned the '96 Bulls, and discussions began regarding who was the best team in NBA history. Jordan had said that it don't mean a thing unless you get a ring, emphasizing that the Warriors could not dethrone the Bulls as the best team in NBA history unless they won a title. With this in mind, the Warriors set out to win the title and etch their names in the annals of sports history. For games into the NBA Finals, it was almost a given that the Warriors would finish as arguably the greatest team in NBA history. They had a 3-1 lead over the Cavaliers, and they outmatched the Cavaliers in almost every aspect of the game. The Warriors had more depth with Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, Shaun Livingston, Andre Iguodala, Andrew Bogut, and Maurice Spites. Conversely, the Cavaliers had a two-headed monster led by Kyrie Irving and LeBron James. If the Cavaliers were going to come back, they would need superhuman performances from both of their stars, and they got it. In Game 5, with their backs against the wall, Kyrie and LeBron finished with 40-plus points each. This trend continued with LeBron making his famous block on Iguodala in Game 7 with Kyrie Irving hitting the go-ahead three-pointer. Against all odds, LeBron James and Kyrie Irving had led the Cavaliers to an upset comeback to rival any in sports history. For the Warriors, their dreams of being the best team in NBA history was shattered. For these reasons, the Cavaliers coming back from a 3-1 deficit to upend the 73-9 Warriors ranks number 2 on our list. The year is 1980, and the Cold War is at its height. Détente, or relaxation of tension, between the United States and the Soviet Union in the 1970s had failed to achieve any real gains. In 1979, the Soviet Union defied world opinion as it decided to invade Afghanistan and install a puppet government. In an act of retaliation, the United States decided not to send its professionals to the 1980 Olympics in Moscow. Like the World Cup, the Olympics serve as an opportunity for nations to demonstrate their athletic prowess and flex to other nations around the world. The 1980 Olympics were no different. In the wake of world condemnation for their military aggression, the Soviets wanted to show the world that they were still a force to be reckoned with through winning the gold medal in hockey. While the Soviets had a stacked team with professionals of all calibers, the United States team was composed of largely no-names and college players. On paper, it seemed like a no-brainer as to who would win the gold medal. However, in what has become one of the greatest upsets ever in sports history, the United States upended the Soviet Union 4-3, taking home the gold medal. The win was largely seen through a political lens, and its impact cannot be understated. For these reasons, the United States' defeat of the Soviet Union comes in at number 1. This is my list of the 10 biggest comebacks in sports history. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe as it is a great help and will notify you of any new content. Thank you.